Hello, my beautiful listeners, and welcome to Life Podcast, a show where we look into human emotions and experiences to better understand our world and the people around us. Now, speaking of people, there are all types of folks in this world. Sometimes you meet the most amazing individuals, but occasionally you may also run into those who behave badly. Often we tend to react right away without realizing that people who behave poorly probably behave that way with many people. It's just who they're being in that moment, and we shouldn't take it personally. See, this will help you understand that most of the time, it's their issue, not yours. Their behavior is their decision, not your liability. Now, sometimes we get disappointed by why others won't behave the way we want them to. Firstly, we can't control anyone but ourselves. But if you're hanging around someone who doesn't completely respect you, then don't wait around for them to change. Don't expect respect from people who aren't respectful, no matter how they appear on the surface or how sweetly they talk at first. It takes a self-respecting person to truly understand respect, and you will see it in the subtle details of how they interact with you and others. How can you blame someone when they don't share your same values? You're wasting your time if you think that because you think a certain way, other people will share the same values as yours. Some people don't think the same as you do, and they're not bad people, but you'll drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why people behave so differently than you expected, even when you're being so respectful towards them. You have to understand that at this point in time, they don't have any concept of the level of respect that you have in your life, so they can't even conceptualize what you're talking about. As an example, think how silly it would be if you made the effort to create an expensive organic salad as a meal for your cat to appreciate. Your cat will still prefer eating meat, as most carnivores do. As much as you love your cat, this is not the right approach. Similarly, if you feel that despite your efforts, you're not getting the proper response from some people in your life, just stop and think. Who are you really dealing with here? Are you dealing with a highly refined person who understands and shares your values? Or are you dealing with a person who's not going to understand you at all? And if the latter is true, then you can't really blame anyone. Just don't go looking for the right responses from the wrong people anymore. Instead, invest your time in those who truly value you, people who understand and respect you, people who recognize your worth. And great people come from all walks of life. So be friends with all types of people from all around the world. You'll recognize the ones who share your values and understand what you're talking about. And those are the relationships that are truly worth hanging on to. You see, most people tend to have expectations of how others should behave. But if your happiness is completely dependent on external situations and other people's behaviors, then you may end up waiting to be happy for a very long time. And you may never be truly free, because you're basically turning yourself into a puppet who reacts to whoever pulls the strings. You have to become more like the calm sky. People can criticize or yell at the sky all they want, but they'll just look foolish because the sky remains abundant, unaffected, and majestic. And the sky is not weak. It has the ability to strike lightning, just as you have the strength to speak up and resolve a situation if someone is out of line. But the key lesson to remember is that you are the master of your emotions, not a slave to the environment. If you've ever seen two people arguing, it's almost like there's a negative energy force bouncing back and forth like a tennis ball. But if you don't hit the tennis ball back from your side, then there won't be any momentum for the game to carry on. Human beings are emotional creatures. Sometimes an argument isn't even about a situation, but more about the disrespectful way in which one person talks to another. And your body language and tone of voice also play a huge role in communicating your message. If you respond to someone with the aim of reaching a resolution, instead of wanting to prove them wrong, then you won't be supplying any negative energy, and you'll naturally break the rhythm of the argument. You see, it takes both parties to create a situation. Both of them have to participate in the role play. But quite simply, if you don't want to be part of the drama, then don't play the part. Essentially, nobody is really a bad person. It's just that people are trying to sort out their own emotional baggage, and you end up getting dragged in the middle of it, trying to make sense out of it all. If you can understand this about people, you may develop more empathy for them instead of frustration. So don't invest your time trying to understand or sort out other people. When they're ready and willing to be more open to change, then there can be progress. And as for yourself, just remember, when you are fully complete within yourself, then instead of chasing the wrong people, you will attract the right people in your life. And finally, perhaps the most important lesson: learn to take things lightly. Enjoy every moment of your spectacular life, because our life isn't a rehearsal. Every day is the real deal. One day, you'll look back and laugh at all the things you worried about. You'll open your eyes and realize how beautiful your life really is. So don't be so uptight. Life is meant to be lived, not to be stressed out, and worrying never helped anyone anyway. So, what are you waiting for? This is your moment. Make it magical, my friend. Until next time, I wish you all the best. If you liked this episode, then be sure to leave a thumbs up. And as always, live your highest potential.